Welcome back to the Mastering Runeterra podcast with Jay and Babe. We've got a fantastic show for you today. The last one before Worlds, which is coming up tomorrow. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later. Before we jump into everything, though, we, of course, have to thank all of our patrons. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't checked out our Patreon yet, go check us out, Mastering Runeterra, over on Patreon. We do weekly learning calls. Man, the one this week, fantastic, so good. We do the VOD reviews in the learning calls. We play scrims. We play on the ladder. We talk strategy. We go over lineups. So if you're looking to improve your game, come check us out. Also, join us in the Discord. We have a fantastic Discord, almost 1,000 people. And, of course, we have to thank our sister podcast, Runeterra Radio, Saucy and Blevins. Love you guys. If you want more awesome Runeterra content, go check them out. You can find them on YouTube, Spotify, all the usual places. And with that, let's get into it. We got a lot to cover on this one. The good, the bad, the ugly. There's a bunch going on in the world of Runeterra today. I want to start with the ladder because it is tough out there. I'm still in Diamond. I'm still just bonking around Diamond. Have you made it to Masters yet? Oh, okay. Must be nice.
I mean, I've been playing so much, though. Like, Worlds is coming up.
Oh,
so
that's true.
I'm basically just like, you know, me and the rest of the Master Runeterra Pro team that are like Worlds qualified. I mean,
everyone that's not me, by the way.
We're basically just like jamming, right? We're like one step ahead of like the normal meta. I feel like all the Worlds qualified people who are like working together and like really trying hard, I feel like are shaping the meta. So I get to be on the trends like a day or two before they like really happen. And that just means I just win more on ladder. Like now that I'm at Masters, it's a little different because everyone is like kind of on the same page now. And the trends caught up a bit. Like the things that we knew were like really, really good 3 days ago, like now everybody's on. So yeah, I feel like that ladder edge is gone. I haven't really I've been playing a lot of ladder, but not to like play ladder. It's just to like play games, right? Because ladder doesn't matter for anybody until like maybe later this month. We don't know, or later next month, or there's a seasonal or something, right? I think.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a seasonal. Yes, in October next month. That's correct. I was like trying to go back through. I'm so caught up in Worlds.
Yeah,
yes.
So
there is still there's EU Masters, there's seasonals.
Ladder, I guess. In October, I'm probably not going to. I'm probably going to play Worlds, and then this season just kind of like show up to seasonals. I feel like
just relax.
I've been going so hard for so long. I feel like the last couple months, just like seasonal Worlds. You know, just like busting my ass, which like I like to do, and I really like to like sink my teeth into it and get into it and everything. But like this Worlds prep has been so insane, and then especially because it's like top 32. We had to prep so hard for top 32, like Haneke, Kevin, and I, and then straight into Worlds prep with the new set. Like that did not good things for my mental. Yeah, and then on top of that, we're releasing a bunch of Mastering Runeterra content, the daily YouTube videos for me, streaming, it's just too much. So once Worlds is over, I'm gonna.
Don't worry about it. Look. You're gonna make top 16. You'll have 2 weeks to relax.
2 weeks to stress out. You mean? Yeah,
I'm stressing it out right now.
I'll if I make top 16, obviously that's like wow. You're like yay, right? If I don't make top 16, I'll be sad for probably 3 hours. I'll be like, damn. Well, now I can do things. Like now I can play other video games. Now I can go do like my hobbies. Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland next week.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay. Let's pull it back in. We'll get to the more interesting
Let's
stuff.
Go on
Ladder.
What are you playing? What are you playing? Talk about it.
I've been doing the faux pas of jumping around to whatever the new hotness is. Like just jump, and obviously my results have suffered for it. But let's see. I'll go through the list and we'll go deck by deck. Let's start with the newest hotness, which has been like Teemo Caitlyn. That just like a good Teemo Caitlyn list that just dropped like yesterday, basically. Because those decks were popular at the beginning when the season first came out, but they're kind of a joke. Yeah, they're real bad. But this one,
Vandal
I forget
City.
who it was
Who it was? I think it might have been Impetuous Panda who originally put the list out,
Yes.
and then Zinc Elemental hit rank 2 or rank 1 with it. So yeah, the list is pretty good. It's the Vandal City version where it plays like the toxic darts or whatever they're called. And then one of my favorite cards of the new set, actually, the 3/5 for 4 that when he enters the battlefield and attacks, you get a poison dart. That card's really, really strong. Combine that with Puffcap Peddler, and
Really
you are just
strong.
cranking up the Puffcap. So the deck's good. It runs 3 copies of Karina. It runs the 3 mana to draw 2 fast speed one, Insider Knowledge, I think it's called. It's not a Foundry deck, which is funny to see a Puffcap deck not be a Foundry deck. It also has no way to like protect its units. It's not running. Obviously, you don't have the Freljord cards. There's no like stress defense or anything. Yeah, it's an interesting list. It's really fun. I really like it. It actually beats Scion because Scions turn in like the Scion gamers have been kind of one-upping each other, like going a little bit slower, add in a little bit more interaction, and now it's like, I'm not going to say clunky because I think it's one of the most like efficient decks in the format, but like it's not as fast as it is before. And so a deck with like 3 poison darts and like a bunch of mystic shots gets to buy a lot of time. So yeah, it's actually pretty good against Scion, especially because your Karina turn is right before their Scion turn. So you like just kind of burn them out. Yeah. With like a normal draw, you just and get them.
Do you just like, what do you do? I keep running into situations where I'll have like, I don't know, we'll say 10 puff caps or like some amount of puff caps. It's not like an insane amount. And then like, do you just slam Karina down and just hope that those puff caps are in the top 5?
Generally no, because Karina uses, I'm pretty sure she uses up the puff caps. So
no. She just triggers them. Yes. They stay in the deck.
Okay. So if my opponent draws their next
I thought we went over this.
They will still hit the puff caps because I feel like every time I play Karina in the next 3 cards they've drawn, they hit no puff caps.
Well, it's 5 cards.
Yeah. But I usually don't get 5 cards deep if I'm already playing Karina.
This is crazy. I thought this was like settled like long ago that was they stayed in the deck.
It might stay in I don't know. It says it activates them. It like sets them off. I feel like it uses them up. I feel like it's just it just upfronts the damage. It just front loads it, I think.
Huh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the opposite. I was like 100% sure until this conversation. I was like, for sure this is how it works. I like confirmed, was like good to go. I haven't like paid attention enough in game. I like have an inkling of like one game from typically the game ends one when you lose or you win or you lose pretty quickly when you're playing Karinas. Either they kill them or you die. Anyways, but like I've run into the situation where like, I don't know. I just, you kind of run out of resources. You got like 2 Karinas. I was wondering if other people like how, or do you like put the flash bomb traps typically at turn 6?
Hopefully you're doing something else. Hopefully, like if you get to turn 6 and there's only 10 puff caps in the deck, like something went wrong. Hopefully you're like Caitlining them or something.
Well, I mean, sometimes they draw some, and like maybe you didn't get to put a lot in. They killed your peddler right away, or you don't find one.
Generally no. I don't just play Karina and hope.
Yeah.
But, hopefully I have something else.
Yeah, typically you want to save her for the very end, right? Like as long as you possibly can.
So the deck's pretty good. It's got some serious legs. It can sometimes beat Zoe Nami if their draw's weird. I'm going to say this a lot. So like everyone, the big question on like, I think for every deck is like, can this deck beat Zoe Nami? And I'm just going to tell you, no. Like,
okay, we'll cover Zoe Nami first. I figured that you'd have a lot to say about that. So that's why I wanted to start here, because this deck was like kind of new and hot.
The big problem with Caitlyn Timo is it also loses to the Poppy rally decks. It does really good until Poppy hits the board, and then you just lose. Like, if you try to get excited Poppy, they keep it alive, the game's over. And that sucks. So, yeah. Like, rally decks have been the bane of Timo decks forever. So that's really tough. All right, Zoe Nami, the boogeyman. If you haven't really been playing much this season, Zoe Nami is the new best deck. It basically runs Nami, the Fleet Admiral, Shelly, a bunch of spells, and then you basically like bank mana for the first 2 turns or play Zoe. On turn 3, you cast like Gifts Crescendum, or you cast Double Trouble or something, and then on turn 4 you play a leveled Nami, and then you win. That's the whole deck.
So about that. Okay, so first off, there's a bunch of different versions running around.
Bad
there's the version that runs Sparkle Fly. There's the version that runs Boxtopus. And then there's a new version that I saw today that runs just like a bunch of units. But they're like units that all generate the spells.
Like Gift Giver and Lunari Dustbringer.
Yeah, which seems kind of counterintuitive to me because you want to be banking your mana typically.
In my opinion, the best one is the Sparklefly one. But the Boxtopus one is fine. I enjoy playing the Boxtopus one more. But if you're going to play a Boxtopus version, you have to be a little heavier on units. Because with the Sparklefly one, I can just cast Sparklefly and hit you for 8, and I'm up at 20. And then I don't have to worry about you attacking me. But when you don't have access to Sparklefly, you have Boxtopus, you need more blockers. You need to like participate in combat more. And obviously Boxtopus doesn't force through damage like Sparklefly does. The Boxtopus one generally runs more units. The Sparklefly one.
Or when you flip a Zoe, it doesn't just make your whole team. Yeah,
that's another reason to run the Sparklefly one. Like you flip Zoe so often in this deck, it's so hard for people to kill it.
So easy.
You run like 3 Sunblessed Vigor. 3 Sunblessed, 3 Pale, 3 Guiding Touch. Yeah, you just run like all the Targon Cyclers and stuff. And yeah, the deck's pretty insane. And when you hear people say like, oh, this deck has a good matchup against Zoe Nami, what they mean is like it might be 55%. Like it's you have to build a deck to beat Zoe Nami, and you'll still lose sometimes. Like I'm talking like Stony Scouts Rally, Misfortune Poppy is probably the best anti-Zoe Nami deck. And sometimes you just won't have Stony Scouts, or sometimes even you will have Stony Scouts, and they'll just go Sparklefly and Nami, and they'll kill you. And it feels a lot like TF Fizz that way. Like the deck's just so inherently powerful.
Oops, a lot of oops, I win.
So, and everyone knows this deck is going to be at Worlds. It's going to be at Worlds in a force. Like it's going to be there. So I'm interested to see if people have found ways to beat it that we haven't considered and are just keeping it kind of under their hat. Tough to do because, we have like access to Runeterra AR. They'd have to do it like pretty much completely in scrims and stuff like that for no one to like peek a list. Because I know me and everyone else have been like checking Runeterra AR basically every single day. So yeah, like it's totally possible that someone shows up to Worlds with just the answer, right? But I doubt it. And Triple Rally would be like as close to an answer as you can get. But in a tournament setting, I can just ban your Poppy, and then like, whatever. And like the other best decks can be pretty advantaged against them. Like I think the best like anti-Zoe Nami lineup that I know of right now is probably like Lulu, like Lulu Zed, Ionia Demacia, Misfortune Quinn with Suppressor, and then some like Bandle City Poppy Rally deck. Maybe like Tristana or something.
But then you're playing these decks that are just bad into a whole bunch of other stuff.
Like Scion. You
lose to Scion. Probably Darkness doesn't seem great. Well,
Darkness is not very good against the rally decks. It can win, but like you're just a little slow.
Yeah. Scion's definitely bad. That was the one reason I stopped playing the MF deck. And then all of the other like older decks. Okay, hold on.
Zoe Nami.
Let's talk a little more. Hold on. Zoe Nami. Staying on topic for once. So I got a bunch of questions. One, so far I just always seem to draw Nami.
Yes.
Are there ever games that you just don't draw Nami and you're
you're basically full mulligan for Nami. So that's 8 cards. And then you have the card you draw on 1, 2, and 3. That's 11 cards. And then you can cycle. So you basically see like a third of your deck. And you have 3 copies of Nami. It's pretty good odds. And then even if you don't, like you can still win. You have Shelly, which is like Nami 4 through 6. And yeah, like, you're doing things with like Zoe. If you're not hitting Nami, you're probably got like a Zoe, and you can get like messengers and stuff and, chargers, and you can like kind of hold down the fort for a while. And then the thing is, like, even if you don't draw Nami, you know, it's not like Misfortune where it's like, I got to draw Misfortune on 3, or Lysandra for Turbo Throws or whatever. Like, you can not draw Nami and survive, have like 1 unit, play Nami, win the game. Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. So do you ideally want to have exactly 1 unit so that you're always buffing
Sometimes.
that one like elusive?
Sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I'm sure. Obviously, it's still dependent.
Yeah.
If they're playing a bunch of hushes or something,
morphs.
if they have answers to that 1 unit. Yeah, Mini Morph's a good one. I get into some weird spots where I'll have like a Sparklefly I want to pump, and then some other Dirtler of a unit that I'm like, no, and I'm like only pumping my Sparklefly like half the time, and I just can't get rid of like this 1 or 2 other units I don't want. Like, what do you do in those situations? I've run into that quite a bit. I'm like trying to trade my units off, trying to do as much as I can,
plan
but like
a bit. But usually, like, let's say you have Sparklefly, 1 other unit in Nami, like your Sparklefly is still going to be gigantic. You know what I mean? Even if you have like 4 units, like you're still getting so much stats. Period. Like, they might not all go on Sparklefly, but like you still got big ass units, and it's really hard to attack into those, especially because like your opponent just doesn't know what you could have, and the deck has so many like good things to play, with the Pales and the Vigors and the Guiding Touches and the Spell Thieves. Like, they could have anything. They could have all your stuff. Have you ever been rallied on by a Nami Zoe deck? That feels bad. It's not a good time.
I took a what is it, the deal 5 damage from Sejuani Gangplank, and then hit them with my elusive, and then killed their and then I shrunk it with the Zoe spell that makes something cheaper. Shrunk it down to 2 with my 2 mana, and then killed their GP.
Moonsilver's insane in this deck. It's so
Moonsilver's insane in that deck. Okay, so I guess I need to put a lot more reps in, because like I seem to get into a lot of really tough situations where I'm not doing anything for maybe the second and third turn. Maybe I have a Zoe on 1, maybe I don't. You know, I'm casting maybe 1 to 0 units in the first 3 turns. So you take some damage, and the bigger problem is that they just accumulate this big board. So on turn like 5 and 6 or whatever it is, they're just swinging with a full board. And like, yeah, okay, maybe you got a Nami down, you got like a Sparklefly, but like they like deal with your Sparklefly somehow, or they drag it to the end or something, and you're just like in a bunch of trouble. I have that happen, not like a lot, but like more than, you know, TF Fizz, which is like, nope, just always doing this thing, always doing my thing. Like TF Fizz was ridiculous with the consistency and power, right?
TF Fizz
like,
is probably the most consistent deck we've ever seen in the game.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you were comparing it to TF Fizz. You were saying like you thought it was on that level. But my thing is that like you have to like leave this door open with Nami where it's like, I'm going to do nothing for a little bit. And you like, it allows opponents to like get in there with like Scion or whatever. Like I just lost a game to Scion yesterday where I got the combo going and I grew my team, but they just yoinked my 2 biggest guys to the end, pulled them with their challengers, and then I just had 1 Nami left over to block and try to Pale Cascade. They got me for Xaxes, but still just felt bad. They just beat me down a bunch, and then like I did my thing, and then they still got me, and I was like, I don't know, TF Fizz didn't do this. Let me tell you, TF Fizz did not let this happen.
Sometimes it did. Like, sometimes your first play would be Twisted Fate on 4, and you'd lose.
Okay, well, that's a rough one. But you know what I mean, though? The fact that you have to, like, you know, you don't have that interaction. Like, you don't have burn spells. Yeah. How amazing would that be?
I mean, you could play Fizz Nami.
And so, yeah. I mean, we can talk about that, because that was a deck that was equally as popular for a long time. The meta has been changing real fast. So there's a bunch of decks, lots of variations. Even on this one Nami deck that we're talking about now, the Zoe Nami deck, there's still like 3 different variants that I've seen people having success with. So yeah, I guess I need to put more reps in and stuff with it. Obviously, the deck is extremely difficult to play correctly. You have so many options. Like I think it's more difficult even than like Zoe Lee, like by comparison. But that could be because I put in more reps with Zoe Lee.
Lee is probably more difficult.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking back to like my early times playing Zoe Lee and just being like,
what the hell am I supposed to do here? Yeah.
5 mana. Do I put Lee down now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they killed it.
Do
Oops.
I overwhelm them now? Like,
Yeah. All the things with I. But I mean,
it's tough. It's tough. I feel like a lot of it's gonna. There's an initial like hump. So you have to kind of like get over, and then once you kind of like get over that, then it's like really, really, really powerful. I mean, like you said, it is tough. There's so many decisions, especially when you like the deck runs 3 Spell Thief. So lots of decisions. Yeah, and there's like times where you'll make certain plays because if your opponent has this certain card, you want them to cast it, so you make like a bad block to incentivize them to cast this card just so you can steal it. Like it's yeah. There's some levels. There's some levels to this deck. It's very, very powerful. Like we were talking right before the podcast. If you look on like the Runeterra AR for the EU ladder, it's just like Zoe Nami all the way down because the EU is pushing hard. They have EU Masters. We don't.
And Worlds.
Yeah. But like a super big, like you have to get high, like really high on ladder to qualify for EU Masters. So everyone's just playing what they think will give them the absolute best shot. And right now that's Zoe Nami. I think it's just the best thing. I think after Worlds, people will be clamoring for nerfs, like a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so that's Zoe Nami. My pick for probably best deck in the game right now.
Yeah, do you think Nami will get touched? Because otherwise you go like Fizz Nami, you go like all these other Nami decks.
I think it's too early to say. We haven't even had the tournament yet, right? Like I said, someone might come with just the truth and just put the beat down on all the Nami players, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see. This is also the first podcast we've had since the emergency nerf?
Yeah.
Or do we...
It is. No. I believe it is.
Is it?
I have no idea.
When did the nerf... Well, the nerf went into effect this week.
I think it was announced last
Wednesday?
week. I don't know. If we didn't cover it, Shurima cards got nerfed. The silver package.
Yeah. How bad do you think it is? I've seen people still playing it on the ladder. It's still got some teeth, but man, I gotta tell you, a 6-3
you don't play Rune Runner anymore.
Yeah, you have to get rid of Rune. A 6-3 Rune Runner is not so scary. I'm like, I just blocked by 3-2. Like whatever.
So right now, like the nerfs hurt, obviously, but less than you'd think. Because right now, the only like damage based deck is like Scion. All the other removal is not damage based usually in the form for like the top decks.
The removal. It's like Caitlyn Ezreal.
Well, no one plays it because it was the Scion. You just play Scion. Like I think that deck's really, really good, but there's just a lot more Scion, so it's just really hard to play Draven Caitlyn. And outside of things like Draven Caitlyn, right? Where's the TF Swains? Where's all this stuff? It's gone.
What about Darkness? Darkness is like some direct damage. Ish. It's not a lot. It's not PNC direct
Darkness
damage.
struggles with Spell Shield. Darkness gets beat up by Akshan Sivir pretty hard. But like since all the damage-based removal spells are like pretty much gone, outside of like pingers, right? Vile Feast, Pokey Stick, those kind of things. Since they're gone, the like health nerfs aren't incredibly relevant. They are relevant for Rune Runner, but like Merciless Hunter.
What do you mean health?
Like Merciless Hunter lost the health. That's like not incredibly relevant.
Okay.
Like it helps. Like so, the nerfs were really big if you're playing like Draven Ezreal versus Sivir Akshan. But if you're playing like two linear decks that just kind of smash each other, it's not incredibly relevant. And right now, the format feels very linear. Like the best decks are Zoe, Nami, Scion, and like Poppy. And so, I think it still has some legs. You do have to build it a little bit different, though, for sure.
Yeah. Do you think you'll still show up at Worlds? You expect to see some of it?
Oh yeah. I expect to see a lot of everything at Worlds. I expect to see more Zoe Nami, and I expect Poppy and Zoe Nami to probably be like the most popular decks. There's like 5 Poppy decks right now. It's like kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, let's talk about those next. Because there's been a bunch of them. And like not too long ago, like maybe a week ago, feels like a month. A week ago, they were at like the top of the ladder. And there was like a bunch of them that were crushing. There was like the Bandle Tree. There was like just straight aggressive ones. There were Demacia ones, non-Demacia ones. Where is it settled now? Like, what are the Poppy decks? The top Poppy decks
So let me
look like
walk
now?
you through the evolution of Poppy this so far.
Okay.
So Poppy started out in Scouts, which was quickly gone because Scion just beats
Like the MF
because Scion
version.
just slaps you in the face, right? So that was gone, and then Bandle Tree became like one of the best decks for like a bit, and so people countered by running just Poppy Rally, which is essentially Tree but without the tree. It just goes a little bigger on the board, which makes it very good into the tree decks because it does what you do, it just does it harder and it does it faster, and it doesn't care about your tree, right? So instead of running 0 rallies and like some fluff to hit all your regions, it runs like 4 rallies and it runs pump spells and bigger units and stuff like that. It's just attacking units, doing it better. So that was like where it moved to. It was the Bandle City Poppy, and then Ionia Poppy started picking up steam. It's like Lulu Zed, but with Poppy, because it's better into the Bandle Poppy version, and also really strong into the tree decks and things like that. So we're just kind of doing this.
Yeah, and that all happened like in 1 week. Like every like 48 hours, it was like burp, 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 burp.
And then like right now we're seeing probably the lowest amount of Scion being played that we have since the season started. Because deck.
And is that why? Are the rally decks good into it?
They're not great into it, but like Scion's pretty good into them. But like people are coming tech for Scion, and I think people are like, I think we saw such a huge like rush of Scion because like it was one of the best things, and then people identified, okay, this is one of the best things. I think we have a refined build. Let's find what else we're playing, or something like that, right? Or let's explore other things, because like if you show up to Worlds with like the best Poppy deck, it puts you in such a good spot. And the deck's very, very good. It's not like weak. Like the Ionia Zed, the Lulu Zed was like weak to a lot of stuff. Like you could just snag wins because you're like a Zed deck with pump spells and rallies, but you were kind of a dog to a lot of matchups. The TF Swains, the Draven Ezreals, right? That kind of stuff. I mean, like Anivia. The Bandle Poppy one doesn't quite have that weakness because you have so much like built-in card advantage. You have the Mayors and the Telescopes and stuff like that, right? Where you can kind of just grab whatever fits the occasion. It's not like I don't think it's inherently as powerful as like the Ionia one, but it does have a lot more staying power. And most of the bad matchups aren't here. Like TF Swain, Draven Ezreal, they're not around.
Right.
They've been pushed out. Avalanche decks are really struggling right now.
Is it Nami pushing them out, or Nami and Scion pushing them out?
Yeah,
I didn't understand why until I started playing Nami, and then I ran into some of the older decks, and I was like,
"You're like,
it was
yeah,
a joke.
sick deck, bro."
I just like slapped them.
You just crushed them. Yeah,
yeah. I was like, what happened to all these like decks that were so hot last season? The GP Sedge, the like on and on the list it goes, like Easy Draven, whatever it is, and then I just played Nami to them. It was
played
like
against GP Sedge, and they like had leveled Sejuani on 6, and I killed them on turn 6 after they froze my board. It was like, this is so stupid. Yeah. Like, you just can't play it right now. And you can if you like ban Nami, but then like I don't even think GP Sedge is like all that good right now.
It's going to be more interesting in a tournament situation when you can ban.
And right now we're just going in circles. We're like, this is good into this. This is good into this.
Okay, so
this is good again, and then
okay, a few things I want to touch on with the Poppy decks. First off, I've noticed people are running, or maybe they always have, the Ranger Yordle guy, like the 6-drop or 5-drop, or it's like the new card. One? It's a Ranger Scout
that gives +0/+1,
and it's a
People usually aren't running it. People usually pick it off like Telescope or Mayor or whatever. Yeah.
Huh. I could for sure. I definitely run into some people that were running it. I'm pretty sure, unless, I don't know, I'm playing at midnight, I'm half awake, I could be wrong. But it shocks me every time, and it's always good. It's always so annoying.
Usually like my first pick off like one of those cards, besides maybe like another Telescope, depending on the situation.
It's really I did not Well, first off, the picture on it looks ridiculous
like
and stupid.
cartoony.
I don't know. I look at it, I'm like, this is a dumb card. Yeah. I don't know why.
Seriously,
I'm judging a
Scion,
card
like,
based on the
screams at
picture.
you, he's all zombified, and this dude's like, "Wah!"
Yeah. But geez, have I been blown out by that card multiple times.
I don't think I want to main deck it, but I like having it.
The card's good. When it hits play, a card does work. That's all I know. The other question I had was the tree decks. Where are those at now?
They're trying to beat each other. That's basically what's going on. So you have tree decks teching in Scorched Earths and things like that, and Ravenous Flocks and whatnot.
How do they do against like the rest of the field?
They lose to Scion.
Lose to Scion.
Not by a lot. Tree's pretty good at like not really losing to anything, but not really like crushing anything. Like you give up a lot of percentage points against the other Poppy decks to like essentially give yourself no bad matchups.
Like everything's close.
Pretty close, yeah. I think we'll see Tree quite a bit. The problem though is that if you run Tree, you can't run any other Poppy deck. Like that's your Poppy deck, right? And Poppy, Draven, Zoe, these are all like in really high demand.
Okay. Do you think there's room? Have you seen anyone? I want someone to. One of the things I really need to start doing more is like experimenting. I'm just always like, what about this idea? Typically, though, I have pretty bad ideas. I've done whenever I do experimenting. I'm just like, nope, this was terrible. I don't know why I even made this deck. But every now and then a deck pops up, and I was like, see, I thought of that. Why didn't I just go try that? Like for instance, this new Teemo Caitlyn. I was like, there's a bunch of new Puff Cap cards that seem pretty good. Why don't I try those? I was like, I don't know. There's a bunch of other stuff going on. And one of them I really want to try is other versions of Tree. Because I feel like that alternate win condition is very powerful. And there's so many of the units that are also very powerful in the deck and some of the spells. And then there's just like a bunch of filler fluff stuff that you just run because you're like trying to get your tree going and stuff that does not seem particularly necessary, or that you can cut down on the numbers for and like make the deck kind of like more streamlined. So I don't know if you do it like more controlling or like what you could possibly change, but I just like, I feel like there's something there like that hasn't been explored.
Yeah. I mean, we all
maybe
tried.
I don't know. Maybe
everyone tried.
There.
We're still trying. And like I said before, if you show up with a really good tree deck, if you show up with the best Poppy deck, you're going to do very well at Worlds. And that's what everyone's like racing towards, is like trying to find it. And in 2 weeks, we're going to look back on this and go, how did we miss this? Right? This is obviously the best, but right now we just don't know. So yeah.
Did you ever consider? I don't know. Like, I don't want to pepper you too much with what you're bringing to Worlds. Did you consider bringing Tree, or will you consider bringing Tree then like banning Poppy? Is that a strategy that you think people will try, or that you thought about trying?
And am considering. Tree is, if people aren't bringing Tree, it's probably in their top 3 other decks they're considering bringing. It's very popular right now.
Yeah, I miss it. I played it a bunch, and I was like, I'm just going to one-trick this. I'm going to be the guy that, like, the tree guy. Right? You know, like, in Magic, there's always, like, that one guy
that plays that one deck.
Or, like, even Runeterra, we got, like, What Am I is, like, the Targon guy. Like, just
Nick makes plays.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, so I was going to be the tree guy, and then after, like, 2 days, I was like, I started losing a bit, and I was like, I'm going to play something else.
And, like, the meta
I'm tired of losing to Rally.
Like, so fast right now. So fast. Like, in 4 days, what I'm saying right now won't even be relevant. Like that's how fat.
You think so?
Okay, it will still be relevant, but like it will change a bunch more, especially after Worlds. People are going to see what's good.
Yeah, Worlds should shake things up.
Someone is going to show up with something I haven't thought of yet. Right, somebody, and I'm going to be like, damn.
Yeah, there's going to be some hotness out there,
right? And then it's going to change things.
Yeah,
but I don't know how yet. So.
What about Darkness?
I think Darkness is kind of poopy. I want it to be good, and it is good.
How dare you?
Well, so it beats Scion if you look at the stats. If you ask anybody in Masters, Scion beats Darkness. It goes like this.
Yeah, I've heard this debate going back and forth.
Not by a lot, but I think it starts here, and then it goes about here.
Yeah, well, if you're so wait. So people in Masters think, yeah, you know what? Both of those decks are extremely skill intensive, and that's like that's one of those matchups you really just need to know and play like kind of flawlessly. You can't just be like playing your Scion units out just like
I'm gonna attack you now. I mean, you can, and every now and then you'll win, but like you're gonna walk into a bunch of stuff. But like, people who know what you're bringing and how to play around it are gonna see a lot more success. Darkness is it's not good into Poppy.
Yeah, so
if they draw Poppy and you can't kill it immediately, you lose a game. I mean, that's just like true like for every deck. If your opponent plays Poppy and you can't kill it, you lose the game. That's unfortunately just the case. She's really, really good.
Okay.
So I don't love Darkness. People will bring Darkness tomorrow. They will. And some people will be successful with it. I just don't love it. I think it loses to a lot of things. It's hard to race Tree. You lose to Poppy. Your dog does it surprisingly is one of the better decks against Zoe Nami, I found. Because you can like just mini morph Nami on site. And then like if you get Darkness up to like a decent amount, you just start shooting things and they can't deal with it. But like I don't know, losing to Scion and losing to Poppy is pretty rough.
Do we cover Scion? Have we like touched on Scion? We've talked about it versus other decks.
Okay, Scion is I mean I talked about it a little bit. It's good. It beats up a lot of things. Very strong. It pushes out the other mid-range decks that can't deal with Scion. And like slow speed stuns do not count as dealing with Scion. So you're
what are you talking about? He can't attack for a turn.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Attack into him next?
He's so big.
It's like, okay,
he is so big.
Right? I'll take my rally now. Thank you very much.
I feel like it needs to be a little bit harder to level him up because he's just always leveled.
Yeah, maybe. That could be an answer. And then like the Lost Soul grind is so real. The deck just grinds you out. It has like single-handedly pushed out mid-range decks. And then it's so weird. The like mid-rangey decks, the old mid-rangey decks are all gone, like we talked about, because the other things
they used to be the kings of the meta last
things
season,
that people
right?
are doing are just too powerful. And so like Scion is so grindy and so powerful that you have to respond by doing something incredibly powerful yourself. Like Zoe Nami, Poppy Rally decks. Like all the top decks are like my game plan.
Ethan Zoe's
like,
pretty
I'm just
good
gonna do my thing and I'm gonna beat you up. Would you say it's pretty good into it?
Lisa and Zoe.
Fast speed stuns and Hush is like really, really good against Scion. The problem is like you can't play Zoe Lee and Zoe Nami. Another one of the best decks against Scion is Zoe Vi and Tom Kench.
Yeah, talk to me about Zoe Vi. I've seen people picking up Zoe Vi, trying to make that work.
Like you can't play it in Zoe Nami, so what's the point? Is basically how we feel.
What about let's talk a little about ladder though. Is there any reason to play these other decks on ladder over Zoe Nami?
Because it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Basically it. Like,
good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Your opponents won't want to shoot themselves in the face. Let's see, what else? Tom Kench Soraka.
Zillion Zaraf.
Tom Kench Soraka. Another Scion counter. Very, very good at beating Scion. Bill's Water Targon. That's Zoe Nami regions. Yep. Okay.
Why don't you play that and then go to the other Nami deck?
The Fizz one? You totally can. And people will do something like that. They'll bring Tom Raka.
What do you lose out on? Oh, you lose out on all the Targon cards,
really
hey?
Good.
Good.
So like you have to essentially decide, are you bringing the best deck in the format or are you bringing a subpar version to be able to bring something else? And I might do.
Well, should we talk about the actual best deck in the format? Like, I know you guys did all this testing over the last couple of weeks. You didn't want me to leak the information, but god damn it, the podcast needs to know Arsenal.deck is obviously the best deck in the format.
It's getting better. It's getting better. I still don't think it's there. A lot of people are testing it today. I've seen it so much on ladder day. I think people are trying to figure out their third decks, and so they're trying to figure out if it's like good enough. And I think they're going to come to the conclusion that no, it's not. It's almost good enough though. It's quite a good deck.
Yeah, it's not a bad deck by any means, right?
No.
Does some very powerful things.
Yeah, and like
I don't love Zillion in the deck.
He's there. He's just there to like block and make time bombs. Like it's a Xerath deck. The Xerath lock where you like play Xerath with like an unraveled sands on the board, like a bunch of roiling sands or whatever it's called, the one that gives vulnerable when you play something, that's really good. Because if they play a unit, it just dies. You can just shoot it with Xerath immediately.
Blows up.
So
Arsenal's also nutty.
The Arsenal's pretty insane. Yeah, especially with Hourglass, because it reapplies. Like
what? Oh yeah, sorry. It reapplies the stats.
Ruben Zoo put out a tweet where he like recoded it so that it wouldn't have the spell shield bug, the spell shield aura bug, and essentially recoded it so that it's on summon. It grants, and then it also gets one when you lose a landmark, right? And it's on the field, because it's supposed to like continuously get them, but also have that like
it's much nicer, and then you can't see them in hand and stuff. I like it so much better this way.
Because it's coded this way as like an on summon effect, though, if you hourglass it and it comes back, you get a whole new suite of keywords. And eventually you run out of keywords. So it stacks the only stackable keyword, which is impact. So you end up with impact in like over 10. If you do this, you can just like one-shot people, which is really funny.
I mean, was having every single keyword in the game not good enough?
I must also fireball my opponent, even if they block.
Impact's an interesting one. I keep forgetting about it and dying. I've done that a couple times where I'm just like, block, 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 go to 2, click OK. Oh, I died. What happened? Oh, those have
That's
impact.
How I felt
right,
about Fury. Like when it came out, I just always like Fury did like nothing until Screeching Dragon picked up popularity, I feel like.
Which one's that?
The dragon one. You just +1/+1 when they kill something.
Oh, right,
so,
right,
like, Screeching Dragon gets bigger when it kills something.
Oh, the keyword Fury. Got you.
So I kept forgetting about Fury because until, like, Screeching Dragon, it just never mattered. And I also tend to play decks that don't focus on combat. That's more my style through Karma Ezreal's, your Zoe Lee, stuff like that. I don't like combat. Fury used to get me all the time. I'd always forget about it and then like put a burn spell on the stack or something, and then like they'd kill my unit and get bigger, and my burn spell would put it to 1, and I'd go, oh yeah, oops,
oh yeah,
oopsies.
Do you know? Okay, so the Zillion Xerath deck, how does it do against those like top decks that we were just going over? Okay. Good answer.
As soon as I decided the deck wasn't good enough, I just dropped it down. Just completely.
Have you had troubles playing against it with any of the decks?
I mean, yeah. Like a lot of times what happens is I'll play against the deck and I'll get to a spot where I'll be like, oh man, this is a really bad spot. And then I still win anyway. And
yeah, the deck kind of just like runs out of gas, kind of. You know, it gets a little it's missing a bit of glue. Hey, it does like a bit of powerful things here and there, but it doesn't have like I don't know what it is. Something that glues it all together. It makes that like just engine run. I think it needs a
better second champion.
Yes, 100%.
Like,
yes.
Ziggs doesn't fit.
Zillion
Ziggs is an aggro champion disguised as a landmark champion. And and Zillion's, the champion you go to in Shrima when nothing else fits. So yeah, I think Talia, not quite. Like your board's always full. You don't really have room to Talia a landmark, and it's like not that good anyway here. Because while it's a landmark deck, you play like little inconsequential landmarks so that you can like pop them. Copying them isn't insane. This isn't Frozen Thralls. So yeah, I think the deck needs another champion.
Yeah, and if it doesn't exist yet, maybe one will come out. Let's talk about some of the older decks. Like, what about like Thresh Viego? That just and like Anivia. Yeah. They just won Squeeby's $500 tournament.
You will not see much of them. There's decks that can contend with like the Aloof Travelers and Minimorph package, and Thresh Viego is not one of them. Like the deck relies so heavily on Viego and Hydrovine that if you just get Minimorph, the game is over. Just ends. Like there's so often we go turn 7, Hydrovine, right? And then like you use your spells to like keep it alive. You syncopate it, or you deny something, or whatever. But if your opponent just Minimorphs it, you're like, oh yes. And Aloof Travelers destroys that deck. Yeah, you can hit like a Vengeance or something, but it's gonna really suck when it hits one of your only units that matter. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the deck comes out in full force, but like it was like almost good enough last season to like really be good. I think it was good, but it was like it was like so close to being like tier 1. And this season, close. I think it just got worse. The Poppy Rally decks beat you up. Scion is probably actually a good matchup for you, but everything else is probably really bad.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's like most of what's going on the ladder right now. Let's talk a little bit about Worlds, which is starting in 24 hours. So first off, the thing I want to talk about most is somehow people on the on the wait list, the way they've decided to do things, instead of just like just locking everyone in like 2 weeks ago and being like, these are your competitors. Instead, what they've done is they have an invite list, and then they have a wait list of like, I don't know, 30 people on each one of the invite or the 2 different invite lists. And then everyone's just welcome to join the Smash.gg? Battlefy,
whatever.
The Battlefy page. So I'm joined because I'm on the wait list. Kever's on the wait list. Jason Sensational's on the wait list. But they, by doing our napkin math, should both be in. I think Jason Sensational is actually moving, so I don't think he's actually playing. Unfortunate. And by my napkin math, I'm not going to make it. But we don't know, and we will not know until 1 hour before the tournament when they just see who checks in and then just start going off the wait list.
Yeah.
What
it's pretty bad.
Are you talking
so
about?
Been practicing and testing hard with us this whole last week and then doesn't know if he's going to play or not, which is really frustrating.
Yeah. A bunch of people, and so first off, they were super late to even just announce who was qualified. As far as I know, like a week for the tournament, people in Europe that were supposed to be on the actual invite list didn't even know. And then now this, where, what if Kevin doesn't make it somehow? Or there's definitely going to be people that were preparing.
Thanks.
And just like they're not gonna because they don't know. And then also vis-a-vis, there'll be a bunch of people on the other end like me who didn't prepare because I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna make it. There's someone in there. And it's like, hey, look, here you go, welcome to the world. So you got 1 hour to submit some decks. And I'm like,
let's not forget
what a joke. I was just gonna say, like, anyone who made it that way is like good luck. Right? Like Like if I got into Worlds, I'd be like,
would just tell me, pick me 3 decks. Yeah, just tell me what to play.
Yeah, pick me 3 decks. I might just grab Pirates or something stupid and just be like, what are the craziest, weirdest things I could get sideways? Because I haven't put reps in. Like, how am I supposed to beat you and Kever and what am I and like all the other top NA players who have been putting for like 2 weeks of practice into their decks? So I'm just going to show up.
Then most people have full-time jobs and families. So, if you were on the wait list with a full-time job and a family and other responsibilities, you're on the wait list. You're not sure if you're going to make it. Can you justify putting in the practice? You can't. Like maybe you can, right?
Also, isn't it Labor Day weekend?
This weekend, I think so. Yeah, it's Labor Day weekend. So people have plans. Or had plans, right?
People have plans,
and they just they're like,
or like can't make plans.
Kids of mine don't know if I don't know if I have to stay at home today to do this, or if we're going to the lake or whatever. Horrible. And then the competitors, we don't know how many rounds we're playing. We don't even know what days we're playing. We know it starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. and that's it. We know Worlds is Saturday, Sunday. We don't know if we're playing Saturday, Sunday, or if we're only playing Saturday and the other regions are playing Sunday. We have no idea. No clue.
There's I'm reading there's a private Discord right now. And it looks like they're giving like conflicting information on if we're even playing on, or well, you guys are playing on Sunday. Because one person says half Saturday and half Sunday, or like some Saturday, some Sunday. And then another person says you will play until you get those who qualified on day one, and day two is finals. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
2 weeks from now, I think, is what that meant. Yeah, so I'm going to guess it's going to be one day. It's just Saturday. That's my guess. It's just Saturday. We play until we have our 6, and then we're done until 2 weeks. And then another thing that really sucks is, like, this is Worlds, and like technically this is the Worlds qualifiers, but this is the 64 best players in each region. And we don't have a broadcast.
No broadcast. How are you not broadcasting this? These are the best players on the freaking planet.
Worlds. We're not broadcasting.
This is the best. This is the best Runeterra that's ever going to be played, ever. Like,
they're broadcasting the finals, but not. I think.
Ooh, 16 people compared to 200 of the best in the world. Yeah,
like just the
top 16.
Like at seasonals, just contract out Giant Slayer or whatever again, right? Like.
Yeah, throw wisdom at it. It's not that hard.
Boulevard and Jay Doza are going to do their own broadcast.
Yeah, I'm also broadcasting.
Yep.
The hell?
And you have a watch party.
Judas.
A little different. They're going to do the commentating
How's
thing.
It different?
The whole shindig.
I'm going to be commentating. I'm going to be like, Bay definitely dropped the ball here. Oh, no, that's why he did it. Okay, good job, Bay. I saw that.
I told him everything he knows. But like, it's frustrating. And I have to imagine that this is just a rush job. Like, they just are just like, come on.
They dropped the ball.
Going. Like,
they like, it's like basically like they announced Worlds, and then everyone went to go focus on other stuff, and then they came back and like, we have how many weeks to do this?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot we said we were going to do Worlds this year.
And then not only that, but like, so like, it was already running pretty short on time when we thought Worlds was going to be on the 16th, 17th, 14th, 15th, 16th. And then they were just like, you know what? Guess what? Actually, first open rounds are in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we'll just hide it down here in this press release, just down the bottom somewhere, where like nobody even saw it. Like, we didn't see it until someone pointed it out on Twitter.
Yeah. And so, I understand this isn't relevant to like the vast majority of players or even listeners to this podcast, but like, wow, it is frustrating.
Yeah. It's just not a good look. And then also it's bad for the game. I mean, obviously these things upsetting people, bad for the game, but not having coverage here for these open rounds is just such a missed opportunity. It's like, hey, you guys want to just knock this out of the park, hit a home run for the whole competitive scene and the game itself to just like build this best of the best, and then just dropped it. Shoot, Butterfingers. Because what they should have done is they should have taken all 200 people and they all should have played against each other right at the beginning, not waited until top 16. I want to see JO1 versus what am I want to see freaking Henneke versus Fresh Lobster. I want to see all these top players from all the different shards battling it out round after round after round. That is the best Runeterra content you can possibly have. And again, we'll get it for the top 16. That is a far cry.
And this happens in League of Legends, actually, because this is how they do Worlds, but it's a little different. So like, you have to essentially qualify in your region, right? So like, if you're in Korea, you have to be like one of the top like 2 or 3 teams. I think it's like 3 for Korea, just to get into Worlds. Mm-hmm. Well, some years the competition is so fierce in their region, and maybe they only get 2 slots, that the best team and the best players don't go to Worlds. And that's like, that would be like losing in the qualifiers. Like, the top 16 like deserve to be there and everything, but like JO1 might not make it. That would suck.
Yep.
He's insane. Like, everyone wants to see him be in the top 16, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the top. Look at the NA. Look how stacked
it's
NA is.
And only 6 make it.
And it's one little double elimination tournament to see who those 6 players are. So for sure, some of the best are not going to be there, right?
Yep.
Because there's just too many. There's so many amazing players. And so missing out on coverage of this and doing it this way. Oh, jeez. And so it's not like one thing. There's just been so many. It's too much. Like, come on, guys, get it together. I'm going to be writing a state of organized play article on Reddit after Worlds, open letter to Riot, and I welcome all of you to come and put your comments down below and your thoughts as well. Because, man, I left Magic the Gathering because they literally lit organized play on fire and then pushed it out into the street. Like, they could just not have blown it up. To this day, they are lighting it on fire. They're like, oh, is it starting to go out a little bit? Better get some kerosene. Get it on there. Light that thing back up. It's ridiculous how bad it is over there. They just pulled their biggest tournament of the year is happening. And 24 hours before, they're like, hey, we're gonna push it back a day. Just for all the competitors. And just all the Southeast Asia, all the people not in NA just totally got screwed. Just totally screwed over. And it's a huge.
It wouldn't be a Mastering Runeterra podcast episode without us ranting about Magic.
Without ranting about Magic? It's a podcast, we can rant about what we want.
And so.
Anyways, so that's why I came here, though, right? And Riot's, I always try to preface things and bookend it with love you, Riot. They do so much good. Seasonals, they do so much really well. They've set the bar really high, and thus our expectations of them very high. And so, and they do listen. One of the things that I, say what you will about that last second, we're not doing any changes to the meta for 2 months. Last second switcheroo. Just kidding. Last second patch. A lot of other companies would have that's what we said we're doing. Hold the ship. We're going. We're going. Nice that's
they're
it.
Like, okay, hey, we were wrong. Here's a patch, which was really good. Very stressful. Again, for all those competitors, we're very stressful. The whole meta
I would rather have it
great.
than not have it.
Yeah, I think I tweeted out when it was announced. I was really excited to see this. I'm very glad this is happening. It's just making me so anxious though, because everything changed.
Yeah, and that's no small thing. Imagine the kind of work that they need to put in, pull people off of other projects, other things, and throw them on this patch to get it out in no time at all. And so that's not a decision that someone makes lightly, And the fact that they were willing to do that, it really shows that I don't know, they listen, they care, they're paying attention. Whereas other games, who we will not mention again, seems like someone's asleep at the wheel.
That's why
there's a drunken captain just not
the
paying
rest
attention.
has been so good, and Worlds is the big one, right? We've been leading up to this the whole year. Yep. It's Worlds, and you have no idea what's going on.
You were at the 1 yard line and just fumbled it
during your celebration or something.
So
it's bad, man. We just want it to be good. Worlds is the pinnacle of competitive play, and we just want it to be good.
Yeah. And I was just mentioning, with this patch, a lot of what Riot does is very intelligent. I feel there's a lot of high level thought that goes into a lot of their decision making. And a lot of this run up to Worlds and Worlds itself has just been kind of brain dead. Kind of just who's making it just seems like no one's on it. It just seems it just wasn't getting attention. It just seemed last second scramble. Even right from that time that announcement came, the dates, the qualifications, it seemed like there was one intern somewhere working on this. Just being hey guys, we gotta just a reminder again today, Worlds is coming. It's. And so that's what's so frustrating, because so much what they do is such there's so much thought and energy into it.
Party thing. We're running it through Battlefly. Seasonals is in client. We couldn't do the same for Worlds. We have a whole different server to play on. Come on now. We're playing on the World server because there's no cross shard. We can't actually play against each other.
And so because of this, there's Friend Challenge, which has a 90 second, is it 90 second?
Like a 90-second ban time. Where normally in seasonals you have
like 5 minutes?
I think. Yeah, I think it's 5 minutes.
Yeah. You get a lot of time. You get to I always like screenshot all my phone stacks, and then I chill there for a while.
Look through the screenshots. I crop them so they're nice and clean. Layer them how I want to. Yeah. And then I make my ban.
Whereas Friend Challenge, 90 seconds, that goes pretty fast.
Very fast.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, so just frustrated. I mean, we'll have to see how it goes tomorrow, but like even if we show up tomorrow and like everything's pristine, everything's killer, it runs without a hitch, I will still be so incredibly frustrated because being a part of this has been so tough. We have no idea, like we've talked about this whole time, we have had no idea what's going on this entire time. The information given to us has been late, sometimes missing, a lot of times incorrect and later changed. Like the dates we were originally told Worlds was 15th through the 19th, and then all of a sudden it was 4th, 5th, and then like 16th, 17th or something, or whatever. I don't know, 17th, 18th, whatever, that weekend. And yeah, like it's just been so frustrating to deal with. And on top of this, you have to deal with practicing and prepping, and that's already like stressful enough. And then just to jump this on it has been a real pain. And then you find out, like, you go through all this work and you find out it's not even being broadcasted. And like, I don't really care that much, right? Like I'm a streamer. I'm going to stream it to the people who want to watch it. But like, I don't know. It makes it feel like it's not a big deal, right? Like it makes it feel like nobody cares about this. It's not being streamed.
That's exactly.
Your information's changing. And like you said, it feels like no one's working on it. It feels like something they just kind of said, hey, yeah, we'll do a Worlds, whatever. Here's some money and we'll figure it out. And like, that's it.
And then just last second, they were just like, everyone get on this.
This is like a really big deal to us players, to us like competitive players, and to a lot of viewers, I'm sure. Worlds is like exciting. This is like the Pro Tour. It's exciting stuff. I want to watch this.
Yeah, this is the big league. This is like the person that gets crowned world champion. That's massive. First ever Runeterra world champion. $40,000. Okay.
Guess it's not that big of a deal then, right? Like that's what it feels like, and that's really rough. All right, I'm good on my whining. I did enough.
Yeah, I hope that they build on this. It is the first one. They can't get everything right, I guess, but I had and have high expectations for them. It is not an easy job. There is a billion moving pieces. But it seems to me what they really need is someone that is in charge of organized play for Runeterra, and not organized play and esports and broadcasting just part of a bunch of other people's also already duties that they do for Valorant or League or TFT. That seems to be the issue. And, maybe we'll get that as like the game grows and stuff. That would be like a dream come true. Okay, but we've whined enough. Tomorrow, Worlds. Good luck, brother. Going to be cheering you on so hard. And the rest of the Runeterra Pro team, who knows? Maybe I'll be playing. You never know. Idea. At this point, who knows? But either way, I will be streaming tomorrow. Either playing, but most likely streaming the other matches from the team and all the other people that are playing. Also, do you know like when Southeast Asia and Europe play? Do they play at the same time?
I think there is an hour that was released. I just only looked at the Americas one.
I wanna
you
peek
could
this
find out
real quick. Anyways, I'll be streaming.
You can find out tomorrow when the broadcast. Oh, wait.
Oh no. Oh, I see what you did there.
Anything else we want to cover?
Okay, wait. I found it. Okay, so it looks like it says check-in. Basically, all of them are like 11 a.m., 12 noon, 1 p.m., starting at like 12 noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. But it's in everyone's own time. So Southeast Asia, check-in at 11, starting at noon, but it's SGT.
I don't know what these time zones
are. GMT plus.
I know my time zone.
GMT plus
Eastern
8.
Time zone, and that's it.
And then Europe is check-in at 1 p.m., starting at 2 p.m. CEST. So you can just assume that it's like, the Asia time. So basically, though, what that means is like just like, you know how it's seasonals, like we're going to bed. The Asia
They start.
Seasonals has started already. It's actually even finished typically, and then the Europe one has started around like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. our time. So that means Worlds is starting for all of those people real soon. We'll have to go keep an eye out for that. Man, it's gonna be a wild weekend, anyways. Come check us out, Majin Bay, Jason Floron over on Twitch. We'll be streaming stuff for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Love you. See you guys next weekend. Actually, wait, see you on Monday for the Runeterra show, where we'll be talking about all this stuff in the
I'm
aftermath.
crying because I
All
lost.
right.